Oh, well, snap, crackle, pop. It seems like Disney can't go 5 minutes without getting sued by somebody. And hey, to a nicer company, it couldn't happen. All this and a whole lot more on the only news that matters. And that's good news. I just want to start off this episode with a bit of model behavior news, something I'm so excited to share with you guys, especially anyone in the UK. I'm doing my first ever convention, Birmingham MCM Comic Con 2024. I'm going to be doing model behavior live on December 1st, Sunday, December 1st, as part of Comic Con. I got the stage to myself. I honestly can't believe this is a thing that is happening. This has been a huge, big bucket list. I mean, it wasn't a bucket list originally, because how would I ever think that was ever going to happen? But then this channel started to become an insane, out of control monster that I still don't have control of. I was going to say I lost control. I never had control. And now we're doing a Comic-Con show. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm putting it all together as we speak. But the bottom line is, if you are in the UK and you want to be a part of the first ever Model Behavior live house party get-together, then you got to get yourself to Birmingham MCM Comic-Con December 1st. This is going to be a whopper. This is going to be so cool. So we're going to do model behavior live. I'm going to also talk about how I made this YouTube channel and how you can go about making a YouTube channel, or basically doing anything, actually. Because the nonsense logic that I applied to making this a success, you can probably put into anything. So yeah, I hope that I can see folks there. Let me know if you are going to be able to attend. I'm going to do a meet and greet, like get together model behavior house party at Comic-Con after I do the live show. I really hope I can see you guys there, because this, you can see, I'm a little bit giddy. This is still a little bit bonkers, but I can't believe it's happening. And the fact that it is all down to you guys supporting the show. So thank you very much, and I hope to see a lot of you there, because this is going to be a whopper. So we're kicking things off today with the news that Lucasfilm are being sued for recreating the likeness of actor Peter Cushing in Star Wars Rogue One. Now, they did actually get in trouble for this when it first happened a few years ago, but they paid $37,000 to the estate, and they held up a contract from 1977 saying, technically, we can do this, so take your money and be quiet now. However, a new challenger has entered the arena. We've got a gentleman by the name of Kevin Francis, who made a deal with Peter Cushing a year before he passed, in which Cushing expressly said that he needed to get permission in order to use his likeness, which is something that Disney didn't do. So now the plaintiff is suing, saying that Disney, you were out of line when you used his image back in Rogue One. And this opens up a whole new, well, not a whole new legal issue, but it gives new light on something that is up for contention. So a judge has ruled that this does need to go to trial, because understandably they're saying that there is a huge grey area in what is okay and what isn't. Because is it okay to just recreate someone's likeness and have that person mute in a scene? It's not that unreasonable, you think. I mean, people were doing this with JFK. Think about Forrest Gump back in the day. But now it's a lot more sophisticated. Back then, the technology was kind of quaint, whereas now things are so photorealistic that it starts to open up some big moral questions, because you could have anyone, people who didn't sign away their likeness rights, you could have them on TV saying, I advocate for this political thing, or John Wayne here telling you that you need to sign for Proposition 24, or I don't know how things work. Politics, am I right? But it's something that is definitely worth investigating. If I remember back to Rogue One, there wasn't any speaking lines, were there, from Peter Cushing? It was literally just him standing there thinking to himself, we will never evacuate in our moment of triumph. But it's an interesting situation. And it's one that Disney, I'm sure, would love to just get rid of. Just like they did last week when they cancelled that whole Disney Plus membership means we don't have to pay for the loss of life in one of our restaurants. It's kind of crazy that Disney could be asked like, oh, hey, how's that legal situation going where you're relying on a years old contract to bail you out of trouble? And they'll be like, Which one? So now they've got this one to contend with. And I think it is kind of grubby that they're saying, oh, well, he signed a contract in 1977, so that means it's okay. Yeah, I don't think in 1977 people were considering the possibility that you could perfectly recreate their image and have it do whatever you want on screen. It's a bit of a leap right there. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this story, because as it unfolds, it's going to be very interesting to follow. Over in video game news now, a win for PlayStation and a less of a win, maybe. Or maybe a win. I don't know. The new PS5 Pro has been revealed. $700. Ho, 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 ho. And there are different SKUs as well. The price can go up. And the general zeitgeist coming out of this is that people are real struggling to see where that extra money is going. Sony can lay out in a schematic what that money is paying for with lots of technical jargon, but just to your average Joe six-pack over here, and when I say six-pack, I am referring to beer. We're a long way from six-pack level, but we are still working on that Wolverine bod. People can't really see the difference. And Sony is saying, oh, get ready for the new Super Pro Spider-Man 2 and The Last of Us 2 remastered. Last of Us 2 Super Turbo Championship Edition. But the fact of the matter is, it's very difficult for your average gamer to really appreciate these differences, especially if you don't have a super high-end TV to play them on. But this is certainly something that maybe is going to be for the hardcore gamers and the streamers as well. People who rely on video gaming for their living, they're probably going to want the best looking version of the game to play. So there's definitely going to be a market for this. But just for your average video gaming Joe over here, it's probably not an investment that I'm going to be making. But a definite win for Sony is the reviews of Astrobot, their new mascot platformer. Sony have dabbled with trying to make mascots happen. We had Jak and Daxter and Crash Bandicoot back in the day. But now we got Astrobot. And this little guy, I mean, he was introduced way back when. But now we've got a proper Mario Odyssey style platformer, and it is getting rave reviews. Not just from the folks who love to shout Sony's praises from the rooftops, but from your average critics out there. It's hitting 8s, 9s, and 10s, with 9 being probably the most common score that I'm seeing. And I love me a little action platformer, and this just looks like so much fun and kind of a love letter to Sony franchises of the past. You've got all these different Sony PlayStation characters popping up, and Astrobot seems like such a fun little character to control. I didn't really vibe with Mario Odyssey. It was good, but there was just something that it felt a little bit too wandery around. What am I doing? You know? So if this game is a little bit more structured, I think this one might just hit the sweet spot for me. So I think I'm going to have to dip into this. If it's within my little weekly model behavior budget, which is being stretched pretty thin right now, but I might see if I can get my hands on this, because Astrobot, it looks like it might be Game of the Year on a lot of people's lists. And speaking of successful games, Space Marine 2, another third-person wander around having fun kind of game. Dang it. Video game companies are appealing to me right now. Space Marine 2 has been getting great reviews as well. Another Gears of War style game, but they've taken a lot of the old Gears of War mechanics, they've updated them and improved them. Some quality of life type issues have been taken care of. The game looks gorgeous, and the Warhammer 40k world is just so much fun to be a part of. I mean, I enjoyed Warhammer back when I was a kid, and I never really had the patience for learning how to play the game properly, but I loved the lore and the imagery. So this, dang it, this is another one I'm going to want. I can't afford more than one game a month, though, so it's time to start making some tough choices. For the horror fan who has everything, and just in time for Halloween as well, you can pick yourself up some horror-themed Crocs. We're getting versions with Jason, Friday the 13th style, Nightmare on Elm Street, and It. Honestly, Friday the 13th, the whole hockey mask, that just goes with the Crocs so perfectly. That's a little match made in horror movie heaven right there. And then Freddy and It as well. These are super cool. They're super stupid, but sometimes that's super fun. So if you want to go trick-or-treating in style and comfort, then this is the shoe for you. The trailer is out for the Minecraft movie, and it's a choice. It is a choice. I'm sure you've seen this by now, and people have made their reactions and their opinions known. Honestly, I mean, have I ever played Minecraft? I haven't, but I know it is a phenomenon. And they've clearly decided that with this movie, we want to be freaky and weird. So we're going to show what these creatures would look like if they were blocky and cubey, and it's kind of unsettling, but I think it's kind of fun too. If people are comparing it to Ugly Sonic, but that doesn't work. Ugly Sonic wasn't meant to be ugly, where you can't look at that sheep and tell me that someone didn't design that going, no, this is supposed to be weird. And I kind of love it. Jack Black, I'm always going to have time for. I love Jables. But hey, he's just coming off the back of Borderlands, so he kind of needs a win, especially as far as video game movies go. So I have no stake in Minecraft, but I'm always up for a good time. And hopefully this movie might be that. The trailer, I don't know what to make of it. But I'm going to give this movie a go. It seems people are still nuts for board games because the Cyberpunk Kickstarter board game funded within 2 hours of going live. Me, I love the idea of board games. I love the concept of sitting around with your friends and getting lost in a world, but I don't have the cognitive capacity for board games. I just don't. It's dyslexia, it's ADHD, it's whatever it is. I can't focus on playing a board game. Throw too many rules at me and my brain just goes, nope, time to think about other stuff. But for you guys who can really appreciate a good board game and set in the cyberpunk world as well, that's pretty awesome. And the fact that it funded 777% funded, that's pretty amazing. So you can go check this out on Kickstarter. It's an official CD Projekt Red cyberpunk board game, and yeah, for you board game fans, this looks awesome. Diving into action figure news now, and what a cool new project to start this episode with, or at least the action figure portion, which I know a lot of you probably skip straight to. More power to you as well. That's what this channel was built on, baby. Awesome action figures, and these are some awesome looking action figures coming at you like Cleopatra. From Kickstarter, we've got this Monsters line, which is inspired by battle beasts. Just like Cyberzoic was inspired by Dino Riders, we're getting an 80s property that's being zhuzhed up and made individual enough to be its own legal distinct entity, and this just looks like so much fun, man. All of these look like they're going to have interchangeable, swap out, modular type parts as well, so you can play around with different designs. This thing is just like hot off the press as far as announcements are concerned. So there's going to be a lot more information released later, I'm sure. But just diving into this initial reveal, look at them. They look so bonkers, so fun, bright, chunky, colourful. You all know me. I got no dog in this race. I got no reason to hype this up too much. But also, you all know me. I'm a big 42-year-old kid who just loves fun, bright, colourful, cartoony action figures. And this definitely fits that description. Joy Toy are showing off more new Warhammer 40k figures. It seems like we get a whole new batch of these every single week. I mean, a lot of them are just tweaks and redos of existing designs, but that's the Space Marines there. They've got their battle armor, and then they got their different insignias and patches and little distinguishing features. That's why they're so wonderfully collectible. So we're getting the Ultramarines Mark 6 Tactical Squad. Did anyone else learn Roman numerals from WrestleMania? I know I did. Then we're getting the Ultramarines Mark 3 Legionnaires. And then also, we're going to get the Ultramarines Legion Praetor? Is that how you pronounce it? I've always seen that word. That's like a king protector, isn't it? Is that the word? Anyway, that guy with power sword and... oh, come on, man. Why are you throwing these words at me? Volkite Serpenta. There you go. So yeah, more goodness from Joy Toy. These guys are just consistently delivering badass figures. Up for pre-order on Super7.com are their Silverhawks figures. You can get the whole set of 4 for $240. So we're going to get Bluegrass in Vac Metal form, Steel Will in also Vac Metal, Molecular... okay, I'm not familiar with Silverhawks at all, so these are all new names to me. And then also Windhammer as well. These are going to be available for pre-order until the end of this month, September 29th, and they are going to estimatedly ship. That's not how anyone ever says anything. They're estimated to ship in May of 2025. It's showtime. Mezco are also doing Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is just getting, I'm not going to say that name one more time, he's getting a version from everyone. We're getting NECA, SH Figure Arts, I think a few others as well, and now Mezco are getting into the game with what might be the quintessential 1/12 scale Michael Keaton Beetlejuice figure. I mean, come on! It's Mezco, you got the cloth goods, all the hyper details there. This is going to be $155. It's going to be a lot of money. I think it must be the most high-end one that's out there. But you got all these different display options as well. You have the end scene carousel head with the extending rollout arms. That's just so much fun. But just the basic base figure. He's got the gravestone as well that's got an LED function. I wasn't planning to get this, but the more I'm talking about it, I'm like, okay, I better move on from this segment before I convince myself. I don't need it. I won't do it. But maybe I will. No, I won't. I can't afford it. But if I could, this would be the one I'd go for. Because dang it, Mezco, you don't always nail it. But when you do, it's a beautiful thing. And this looks like it might be a beautiful thing. And now we're going to go from a beautiful thing to a horrifying but also very cute little thing. We got this adorable chibi Godzilla from Shin Godzilla. That was the one. So it's actually one of the more horrific looking Godzilla forms. They just went all in on making Godzilla look terrifying and hideous in that movie. And they succeeded. But Japan has never seen a thing that it didn't look at and go, we can make that look cute. I present Hello Chucky as an example. One of the biggest selling pieces of Halloween merchandise at Universal Japan. Gotta love it. So yeah, this looks really cute. It looks like it has light-up functions as well, maybe. It's technically called the Ezobi Eggmon Plus series Shin Godzilla Awakening DX version. Call it what you will. I call it adorable. Kotobukiya have revealed another really fun looking anime girl figure. This one is the Frame Arms girl Izumo. Going to be released around about February of next year, retailing for 9,050 yen, which equates to about $60, give or take, depending on what the not inflation, exchange rate. Well, I mean inflation as well. Numbers, economics, things. I don't know. You don't come here for that kind of technical jargon, do you? What do you come here for? It's nonsense, isn't it? Yeah, it's always nonsense. 52 Toys are continuing their series of figures that transform from a thing into a cube. That's all I can describe it with. But we're getting this Tiger. That's what they're calling it. And it just looks like a awesome, cool, transforming robot tiger. Does what it says on the tin. Got nothing more to add. There you go. Do with that what you will. Pocket Art have revealed their 1/12 scale Succubus Nun Friend. Succubus Nun Friend figure. What? I'm playing a shocker today when it comes to pronouncing things. But we got this Succubus Nun superhero, villain, agent, girl, anime creature. I don't know what it is. Do they even make backstories for these things? Or do they just sketch out awesome looking designs and go, yep, that'll do? I mean, to be fair, they're not wrong. That'll do nicely. This looks really, really cool. So it's scheduled to be released Q1 2025. So not too long to wait. And judging by these pictures, it's going to be another badass looking anime girl winner. Man, there's a lot of these things out there. Each one more cheesecakey and ridiculous than the last. And that's why we love them. This is kind of cute. We're getting a Mighty Deformed Great 5. This is from Action Toys. Going to be released around about February of next year. Retailing for about $50 for you. So for you like 80s, it's not anime. What do you call like live action Japanese series? what's the word for real life anime? Whatever it is. This thing, I think it was big in the 80s. It might be big on your shelf, but also kind of small too. He's kind of fun-sized. But all these little pieces coming together in this robot form, it looks really fun. SH Figure Arts have revealed a new figure from the show Monsters 103 Mercy's Dragon Damnation. I've only just found out what Delicious Dungeon was. I've never heard of this thing. It's hard to keep up, especially when you're an old goober like me. So this is Ryuma, and he's going to be released March of next year. Going to be retailing probably for about $60, give or take. Again, these things are always a bit nebulous depending on what the markets are doing at the time. But yeah, he's a fun-looking, I don't know, samurai dude? Anime fans, help me out. Who is this guy? He looks like fun. McFarlane have shown off their upcoming Batman 66 figures. Just a quick run through with who we're getting in this line. We're going to get the Clock King. You're going to get Red Batman. At first I thought that was Batman of Zen-Nura or whatever it was, but obviously not. I know he's more yellow, isn't he? Anyway, we're getting him. We're getting Wonder Woman, Batgirl, and Joker as well. More details coming soon. And to go with your 66 Batman figures, we're also getting a 66 Batgirl motorbike. This looks like a really good recreation of the 60s bike. It's kind of big and so, it's that retro kind of Austin Powers kind of kitsch, and it's kind of fun. I think this will be popular for people who grew up with that 1966 show. I mean, I did, even in the 80s. You know me, I just can't help talking about things I have no idea about. So let me read off the notes here. Saint Cloth Myth X Pandora. There you go. Scheduled to release February of next year. Pre-orders open September 6th. Wow, this is an old feature. Okay, pre-orders are open already. You better dive in there. So this is Pandora from the Saint Seiya series. And she's got nice cloth goods, a big old harp, and a whole lot of extra accessories as well. I know that there are some Saint Seiya fans who watch this, because I've been educated on that show in the past. So this looks like another winner for you guys. This actually, even non-Saint Seiya fans, just as a cool looking action figure, it looks pretty wicked. Now this figure looks really cool. 1/6 scale from the Underverse line. This skeletal Grim Reaper looking dude, but in casual clothes as well. It's Casual Friday for Grim Reapers. You can just wear a shirt and a tie. So this is Le Mort. Les Mort? I don't know how you pronounce that. I don't speak French or Spanish, as we discovered on the last episode. And Nihongo Chotodake. I'm bad with languages. Anyway, this is going to be $285. It's available for pre-order on Underverse right now. And yeah, I'm looking at the rest of the info and it's all there. Look at the pretty pictures. Doesn't he look cool? Lucky he's 1/6 scale. That means that my wallet is safe. But I do think he looks awesome. Sometimes I see a figure posted by Eric Fulham on the Fulham Report on the Model Behaviour Facebook group, and I'm like, what in the wide world of sports is this? I don't know. I got nothing. It's listed as San Zero, but it looks amazing. This bizarre eldritch horror nightmare of a creature. So badass. Again, I refer you to my lack of knowledge regarding anything about it. I do apologize for that, but I wanted to share it with you because it looks really cool. I'm going to keep an eye out, see if this thing pops up on any of the typical import sites like Gundamit or 5K Toys or Bombuzby. I'ma find this fella, and when I do, I'm gonna look at his price and decide I can't afford him. But that's the circle of action figures, folks. In the meantime, I'm happy to share the pretty pictures. Okay, these guys are pretty cute. Pop Mart celebrates Batman's 85th anniversary with an all-new range of figures and vehicle display sets based on the movies, animated series, and classic TV series. 6 designs to choose from, including possibly some secret chase figures. Obviously, I'm just reading the official blurb, but, well, that's the best way to ensure I don't ramble too much, so consider yourselves lucky. Diamond Select are showing off a very pretty Moon Knight bust that's up for pre-order on their website right now. Looks really cool. I'm not a bust collector, but I appreciate a good-looking product when I see one, and dang it, this fits that description. I had to share this with you. Premium Collectible Studios, who always do super expensive high-end statues, they did an incredible Maximum Carnage statue, which was just breathtaking. And then they clearly went, you know what? This is good, but it's just not expensive enough. What if we bronze the whole thing? Yeah, that'll do it. $15,000. Hey, look, if you got it going spare, then God bless you. This does look incredible. I mean, honestly, aesthetically, I'd prefer the more colourful original version. But if you just want something that's ridiculously high-end, then Bob's your uncle right here. This is a pretty incredible looking thing. Just for the lols. I wanted to share it with you. Could you afford to buy this watching right now? Like, is this something you see and you go like, yeah, I might consider that? If it is, let me know. It's fun to have rich friends. In Custom Corner, shout out to friend of the show, Wings Customs, for his beautiful and constant work on X-Men based figures. If you want a Marvel Legend of a certain X-Men or mutant type character that hasn't been made yet, chances are this dude has put them together and they all look so good as well. A whole bunch of X-Men 97 themed characters as well. Love Gambit in the cutoff top. That's just so fun and silly. I dig it. I dig it the most. Brother, keep up the awesome work. It's always a pleasure to see what you're posting. Today's cosplay cover artist is Buttercup Cosplay. Ow! Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down, let me down. You mess me around, and then worst of all, you never call baby when you say you will, But I love you still, I need you, more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, Buttercup, don't break my heart. Yeah, go give her a follow. Time now for Model Behaviour channel member shoutouts. This is where you get to have your say of what's going on in the action figure world, or anything I'm talking about, by becoming a Model Behaviour channel member, and I will read your comments, such as this one from Spider-Fan, which says, with regards to the Beetlejuice figures, I hope we eventually get the other characters from both the Beetlejuice movies, other than just the man himself. Honestly, I think there would be a market for that. Get Lydia Dietz and Otho, and I'm blanking on the rest of the names. Not the dad, though. That actor was kind of problematic. But the rest of the cast of characters, especially, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. I forget their names, but yeah, them too. Those would be some really fun additions to the team. James Serpio, God bless you, man. A man after my own heart, simply saying, not gonna lie, I totally need that ring statue. Just a neat, cheeky piece. Brother, I couldn't agree more, but also I didn't show the slightly more risque versions of that statue. I needed to keep this channel relatively PG-13 because, they get a little risque. Friend of the show, Ramen Toys, just saying thank you for the mention there, Dave. Brother, it's always a pleasure. Now get back to work. And Kwamen, probably the biggest Marvel Legends fan on the Model Behaviour channel, just having a bit of a victory lap after Dragon Man was revealed to pretty universal praise. I've been telling y'all all year. This has been the best year for Marvel Legends ever. What more proof do you need? Honestly, brother, it's kind of hard to argue right now. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. What did you think about the items covered? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you gotta do. You gotta join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you want to go one step beyond, then you can do by getting yourself a Model Behaviour channel membership. You can be a part of the community, be a part of the Model Behaviour underground, join in with the various live streams when I do them, and just, have fun tossing a couple of bucks my way. I mean, don't tell me that doesn't give you a little sense of happiness and contentment inside. I hope it does. It certainly does for me. So gang, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behaviour. I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, Buttercup, don't break my heart. Big time.